Yo, what is going on, homies? It's your boy Stumped back for another Optc video, and in today's video we're over here on the global side of the game taking on the end of an era event with the release of the new verse Akainu. Now, this event isn't overly hard, but basically what you want to do when you are building a team is trying to bring like a verse ace friend captain works really well, or as many strength units as you possibly can, as this content is sort of built around special reverse and dex sort of enemies. So Verse Ace is actually ridiculously good. There is a bunch of boosted units to get more drops and stuff like that, as there are a bunch of Chopper Man missions. But ideally, you want to try and put together a team that utilizes defense up and threshold removal, so characters like Robins, Bobbins, Usohachi, limited rare recruit Perispero, the new Jozu, all those characters work really well. And you also want to get around paralysis and special bind with a single unit. Stuff like limited rare recruit Bonnie works really well. The new Luffy works really well. Legend Chopper's another great option as he's a shooter. So you do have a lot of very good options. But in today's video, I do have 5 teams for you guys, utilizing some hybrid teams with Akainu and Ace, a Akainu and Ace team with a bunch of boosters, as well as a team from my boy Knight that actually worked really well. So the link to his channel and his video will be in the description. But with that said, let's dive in. Alright, so for the first team in the video, we are running a hybrid SnakeMan and verse Ace team. This is the team, these are the supports. Let's dive in. Now, this team should actually work with double SnakeMan, but ideally, you actually just want to bring as many point boosted units to actually boost your score, depending on your drops. It is one of those sort of non-blitz events, but like I said, you can run double SnakeMan, but ideally, you do want to try and bring a verse Ace if you can. Not only does he get cooldowns, but he is obviously boosted for this particular event. Besides him on this particular team, we do have Weevil. Weevil is another boosted unit. On turn 1, we do come up against WhiteBeard, who just sort of gives us higher chance of landing on some more matching orbs, and that way we can actually just sort of move on and build up the verse meters as quickly as possible. On stage 2, we're going to come up against a bunch of enemies here. Now, unlike Akainu, Ace is a little bit easier to stall with, and the downside to this actual event is there isn't much stalling capabilities besides this particular turn here. And if you are running Akainu, you are going to actually fall under the trap that means that you are going to give the burn mechanic with damage. So it can be really hard to stall, but you guys will see that once we do the Akainu sort of run. Verse Ace was sort of just built for this particular event, but both of them are still very good units, and they both can get the job done very easily. So once we've sort of stalled out a little bit here, we can move on. We do want to try and eat as many strength decks and quick orbs as we possibly can along the way. And once we hit stage 3, we come up against Kizaru. Now, Kizaru gives us special reverse, which Ace just absolutely loves, as he actually removes 10 turns of special reverse, which is really nice. We are just going to take our time here on Kizaru. You probably can use the super typing of Luffy on this particular stage, but it really doesn't matter too much, as we sort of just want to still get our specials back anyway. On the next turn, we are going to start hitting Kizaru, as we do have color affinity with this entire team. Besides Robin, we are running mono strength, which is really nice for Luffy's captain ability, as well as this event being predominantly based around dex units. On stage 4 against Kuzan, he is going to special bind us, as well as paralyze us for 4 turns. We can actually remove the paralysis with the ship and the support of our boy Rayleigh on Luffy. And then that way we can actually just use the super typing here and do as much damage to Kuzan as we possibly can, as we're not going to need the super typing moving on to the next stage. Now, on the second turn, we are going to get our Jewelry Bonnie special ready to go. Jewelry Bonnie's basically going to remove all those effects. So if you have to stall a turn on this particular stage, don't stress. But we are obviously going to get blinded as well. So ideally, you probably want to do a little bit less damage than I did, as that way you're not going to cop the bind. But as you can see, like it really doesn't matter all that much. Kuzan is going to like slot bind us with unfavorable slots, which are all matching for this particular team. So it's really not that big of a drama, but it will make things a lot quicker if you guys are running. Oh, okay, so we're going to get binded there. Okay, well, we can remove it now with Bonnie. Bonnie's going to give us a full heal as well, which is great. And then we can sort of take out Kuzan. Now, after I built this team, I actually realized that I sort of built this team around using double Luffy. So both Weevil and Robin actually aren't getting the full buff here, but it's really not going to matter. On the final stage against Akainu, he turns into a Dex unit, and he gives us special reverse. He puts up 5 turns of defense up and threshold, which is a little bit annoying as I don't have Jozu, which kind of sucks, but we'll pick him up at a later date. We're going to use the verse ability of our ace to give our captain a strength orb. We can then use the special to get an orb buff and a chain multiplier lock. We have color affinity with our sweet 3, as well as a chain boost, which works exceptionally well with the chain lock that Ace can actually provide. Robin rotates orbs into her orbs, so we do want to get rid of that. And then with that, we can just say absolutely goodbye to our boy Akainu. Easy peasy, so much damage. So, as mentioned, you can use double Luffy if you're struggling to find Ace, but Ace is just going to give you more points. So moving on to the next team now, we are running a hybrid between Kaido and Akainu. So this is the team, these are the supports. Let's dive in. Now, as mentioned in the previous team where we were using the hybrid Ace team, the downside to Akainu is trying to stall to get your specials. And this particular piece of content has a lot of special reverse. So every time you actually take an attack, you're going to give that burn mechanic, which is then going to do quite a bit of damage. And it's actually going to take out a lot of mob enemies. So on this particular team, we are running Weevil. He's a free-to-play unit. I know I had him on the Ace team as well, but you could easily take him off the Ace team as he's actually not getting boosted on that particular team. And Ace removes special reverse anyway if you're running the hybrid team. But if you're not running the hybrid team, you probably want to have him on with Luffy. That way you can actually get the special reverse and still pop off your specials whenever you need to. But for this particular team, he's literally just here as special reverse. Now, on this particular stage, this is the best stage to stall, but ideally you want the turtle to be on a higher cooldown than 1. Sometimes the turtle can be on a 1-turn cooldown, which can actually just ruin your entire run, as that way you just can't get too much stalling out. On the next turn, we come up against Kizaru and 2 of his subordinates, we're going to call them. They actually give us special reverse as well, which is a little bit annoying. But we can actually utilize the burn mechanic of Kaido, of Akainu here to actually take out the lackeys in the back, as we're going to take a shot from them anyway. But can we just kill one of them? Okay, well, we're going to take the shots anyway. But we should have enough cooldowns with Arlong Crew and Weevil on this particular team, as Weevil is driven. Arlong Crew is obviously powerhouse. You can use this particular stage here to get up some more orbs for the Akainu verse ability, as those particular lackeys in the back can actually take one of the burn shots. On the next stage, we come up against Kuzan. Now, Kuzan is going to give us a full board of unfavorable slots, as well as give us paralysis and special bind. So what we're going to do here is we're actually just going to pass the turns, as we do need to get our buggy special back. And this is what I was talking about with your special cooldown being quite annoying to get when it comes to Akainu, as that burn and the amount of stalling that is sort of available to us is just non-existent. So with Kaido and Akainu as captains as well, it's really cool because Akainu is all about wanting to take damage, and so is Kaido. So you can get the burn effect. If there's no normal attacks only, Kaido's just popping off his specials like crazy, and you can actually just do quite a bit of damage here, which is really, really nice. Unfortunately, we are going to get blinded, but we can sort of pass the turn here once again, and we should be able to remove the bind moving into the next stage, as Kuzan should kill himself with the burn mechanic and the Kaido special. Okay, I guess not. We're going to get our captains blinded, which kind of sucks, but that's alright, as the burn is just going to do the work for us. See you later, Kuzan. Let's move on to the next stage now. Let's get our characters back. That'd be great. Beautiful. So that, as you can see, that burn damage is just, it's so damn good at sort of just nullifying so many different mechanics in the game. On the final stage against Akainu, he is going to special reverses once again. So again, quite annoying. So we're going to use the Arlong Crew special here. Arlong Crew can actually give us some cooldowns, which is very, very nice of Arlong. Then we can remove the threshold and the defensive effects with our Praline special. We then have the Kaido special to give us a full board of matching orbs. We can then get an orb boost with our Akainu special, and then with the Akainu verse ability, we can actually get that conditional boost. Now, unfortunately, Akainu is immune, or has full immunity, so we actually have to let him hit us for us to be able to get that conditional effect. But that's something that you could actually use in the previous stage and whatnot as well, just to make things a little bit quicker. As I sort of like get to know this content, it's going to make life easier. But the verse ability actually gives you the ability to make quick orbs matching, which is incredibly powerful. And with that, we should be able to just say goodbye to Akainu. Easy peasy. So that was the hybrid Kaido Akainu team. Works fairly well. But yeah, let's move on to the next two teams now. Alright, so for the next team, I want to give a shout out to my boy Knight. This is actually his particular team, and as mentioned, when the great man retired, I do want to try and use like one of his teams in most of the new global content that is coming out. So shout out to him. This is actually his particular team build. And I saw Lucy captain, and I was just like really intrigued. I really wanted to run Lucy, and once you've actually farmed up this event for a little while, you can actually get your hands on WhiteBeard. Now, WhiteBeard's really good, as he actually uses color affinity, and he's a free spirit unit. This whole particular team is free spirit based, and with Lucy as captain, you can actually get cooldowns as well, which is really nice. So once again, shout out to my boy Knight for putting this team together, as it actually looks really fun, and actually seems to do the job pretty well. If you don't have the limited rare recruit Bonnie, you could easily run the new, I think it's the new Kuzan that's really good for this particular, the paralysis or special bind, or it might be Luffy. Either of the two, one of those two units is the ones that does it, and it's going to make your life a lot easier, as you will have a lot of cooldowns with your boosted units. As mentioned, there is quite a lot of special reverse, but if you are running Ace as a friend captain, you don't have to worry about it too much, because you can actually get 10 turns of special reverse just with his amazing captain ability. It's one of the big draws to Ace, and something that I always forget whenever I'm sort of talking about the unit. I always forget that he does the 10 turns of special reverse, but that special reverse is actually ridiculously overpowered, as you just don't have to worry about bringing utility for it, and it's sort of what sets him apart from Akainu. On the second last turn, or the fourth stage, we come up against Kuzan. He paralyzes us and special binds us. So we have Bonnie here. She can remove all those nasty defects. We can then ideally use the verse ability of our Ace, but we're not going to be able to, because I haven't eaten enough orbs, funny enough. But we are going to use the Weevil special and to get an orb boost, and the special of our Lucy. That way we can get an attack boost as well, and then once we hit a certain amount of perfects, we can actually get the carryover of the attack boost for the next stage against Akainu. Now, against Akainu, he is going to put up 5 turns of defense up and threshold. He turns into a dex unit, and he rolls our specials back once again. So once again, this is where Ace is just so damn strong, as he can get around that. We can actually use the Bobbin special to remove all the defensive effects. We have color affinity with our boy WhiteBeard, and then we have the verse ability to give our captain a... Okay, well, we're not going to get the strength orb on our captain, unfortunately. Kind of sucks, but look, it is what it is. We'll just cop the orb boost, and with that, we should have enough damage against Akainu, as we are running quite a lot of boosted units. As long as we attack with our... Okay, we don't even need to attack with our Ace last. This team has heaps of damage, and once again, shout out to Knight. Link to his channel will be in the description, as well as the video. Let's move on to the big dog teams now. Alright, so for the next team, we are using the big dog versus Akainu. So this is the team, these are the supports. Let's dive in. Now, I haven't actually completed this event yet. This is actually the first time running the event, so I'm not 100% sure if all the supports are necessary, but I guess we'll have to wait and see once we get to stage 3. Alright, so it looks like there is an interrupt. I don't know if this is always on turn 1, but WhiteBeard blows away all of our positive buffs. He makes Dex and Quick Orbs more apparent, and then we get Akainu coming in, which is pretty cool. Unfortunately, I'm not using like any of the boosted units here, so we don't have our cooldowns, but unless you have Jozu's pretty much the only good one for the Akainu team, but both Luffy and Aokiji are really good if you are running verse Ace, which you guys will see in the next team. But we're just going to make our way through here, and we are going to try and get all of our cooldowns. As the downside to Akainu is he is a bit of a speed captain, mainly because you can't really take damage. If you take damage with Akainu, he gives that burn mechanic, and that burn mechanic does so much damage that it actually just kills everything, so it makes life a little bit tricky. On stage 3, though, we do come up against Kizaru. Now, Kizaru actually gives us special reverse. We do have Jack to actually avoid that, but what you can actually do is you can run verse Ace and easily get around it that way, as he does have that special reverse built into his captain multiplier. But as you can see here, because we are running predominantly quick units, we are going to struggle to take out Kizaru. But once Kizaru does damage to us, we do get the burn mechanic. The burn mechanic does quite a lot of damage, and with that, we should actually be able to take out Kizaru on the next turn. Once we've done that as well, we now have the verse ability of Akainu. Unfortunately, Akainu's verse ability doesn't go through a full immunity, but his captain passive definitely does. On the next stage, we come up against Kuzan. Now, Kuzan's actually going to special bind us and paralyze us, but as you can see, we're moving so damn quickly with Akainu that it actually makes it a little bit tricky to get all of our cooldowns. So we are going to rely a little bit on the burn mechanic. The Sweet 3 did come in handy on our Perispero. If you guys don't have Perispero, you can easily use Treble is a really good other option, as he can remove those defensive effects. Or you can even use the new Jozu that came out. The new Jozu is really, really good. We are going to get a full board of unfavorable slots here, and he is going to lock those slots, which is kind of annoying, but it's not that big of a deal, as we do have a lot of matching orbs on this particular team as well. With the burn, we can sort of just let the burn do its job, take out Kuzan over time, and then we can finish him off. He's going to bind us after a certain amount of time. That is something to note. That should go down to 2 turns with our sockets. But we are sort of just going to rely on the burn damage here to do most of the work, as we do need to stall out 1 more turn to remove that bind. And now that the bind is gone, we can hit Kuzan, and he's going to hit us. We're going to reapply the burn, and then we can say goodbye to Kuzan now. Goodbye. I love that the burn damage actually kicks in before the next turn. It makes life really, really easy. On the final stage, we actually come up against Akainu. Now, Akainu is going to turn into a Dex unit. And ideally, you do want to run verse Ace, but I really wanted to include a verse Akainu team here. He's going to roll our specials back by 2 turns, which is a little bit annoying, but with Perispero, we can actually remove that fairly easily. And then ideally, we can use the Jack special to actually get our specials back. We are going to use the verse ability of our Akainu, though. That way, we can actually get the conditional boost. And we are just going to stall 1 turn here, so that way we can actually remove the rest of the defensive effects. As with Perispero, we can actually only remove 4 turns. I didn't realize it was 5 turns, but look, it is what it is. On the second turn, Akainu is going to take that burn damage. He is then going to give himself an attack up, but it's not that big of a deal, as we're basically going to take him out now. So we can use the Jack special. Jack can give us an orb buff. We can then use our Sublimask special. Sublimask can give us an attack boost. We don't need that Nami support. And then we can finish it off with Akainu. Now, Akainu is going to give us a chain lock, depending on how many quick orbs that we manage to eat throughout the run. And with that, we can actually just finish this off easy peasy. So, fairly simple run. Akainu sort of just cheeses content, as you guys can see. Let's move on to the final team now. And for the final team of the video, we are running double Ace. Now, as mentioned, Ace is sort of like built for this. We are bringing a lot of boosted units, but we do have Usohachi because I didn't manage to get my hands on Jozu. But look, it's not the end of the world. I'll pick up Jozu at a later date. I'll let him come to me. I'm not going to have a repeat of the Big Mom Kaido banner where I sort of chase after King. But if you have Jozu, you could easily slip Jozu in here instead of Usohachi, provided that Jozu does meet the requirements for the team. I think he is a free spirit. He might not be. Correct me in the comment section if I'm wrong. But I imagine that he would find a way onto the Ace team somehow, as he's the one that can actually remove those defensive effects on the final stage, as well as give cooldowns, which is really, really nice for Akainu. So if you did manage to pick him up, be very happy, as he is arguably the best rare recruit in the batch. He does a lot for the team. He's kind of like King, but just does like a little bit of some different things with the defensive effects rather than the special bind. So as we make our way through this, we really want to try and get the verse abilities of Ace like popping, as that way we can actually start getting some matching orbs, so we can actually get all of his burn mechanic off. So I'm going to try and eat as many orbs as we can here, but as you can see, we do have a lot of damage with this particular team. Not only are the units boosted, but strength characters sort of thrive when it comes to this particular event. So we're going to try and eat some more orbs, that way we can get the verse ability popping. Beautiful. All right, we're good to go. On stage 4, we come up against Kuzan. He puts up paralysis and special bind, and we can actually remove that with our Luffy special. So Luffy's the one that removes that, which is great. You can also use some supports in the ship of the Liberal Hind to actually, sorry, not the Liberal Hind, the Oro Jackson. The Oro Jackson can actually remove paralysis as well, which is really nice. But literally just with our verse A special as well as Luffy special, we get the chain buff with the chain lock and the orb boost, and we basically just have everything going for us. You can also pop the verse ability there for more damage, but as you can see, it's really not needed. On the final stage against Akainu, he puts up 5 turns of defense up and threshold. He's also going to roll our specials back, which to Ace doesn't matter. We can then get a defense removal with Usohachi special, as also giving us cooldowns, which is great. WhiteBeard's going to give us color affinity for our powerhouse and our free spirit units. We then get an attack buff with our Kuzan special, and then we can actually get an orb boost with Ace. Now, with Ace, you need to make sure that your orb is a strength orb, or your captain's orb is strength. That way you can actually get the chain lock mechanic that he has built into his kit. But you can easily get that with his verse ability. With his verse ability, he does rotate orbs into strength slots for your captains, I'm pretty sure, provided the orbs aren't already matching. So that is something else to know. But let's take a quick look at this beautiful verse ability, and we'll wrap this video up. Man, the art for this is just so damn fire. No pun intended. That scene there with the two fists clashing is just so damn cool. Clash of fire and magma. Beautiful. Well, that's going to wrap up today's video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, make sure to go down there and belt the like button for me. And if you are new to the channel, hit the big red subscribe button too. But guys, wherever you are in this beautiful world, please remember to enjoy the rest of your day. As always, homies, I thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Lates!